I'm Daniel Freedman. I'm the Chief Strategy Officer and Head of Business Development of Apploi, which is a mobile jobs platform which changes the way that job seekers and companies interact with each other. One of the big things that I started learning when I started focusing on the job space is that you've got around 25 million Americans without regular internet or computer access. And those people are limited right now to about a 30-minute window to use a computer at a public library or a workforce center if they're able to get there. And then there's another 30 million Americans who have smartphones but no computers. But most companies, their job site is not mobile friendly or takes too long for people to go through. And so one of the biggest problems for people today is just even applying for a job. And so what we focus on doing is expanding access. So we build a network of public kiosks across Baltimore and across the country. We're in job centers, libraries, community centers. We're here in Baltimore everywhere from the Catholic charities, we're working with the Associated Black Charities, we're working with the Associated, the Jewish Federation, different nonprofits. It's really been amazing, the community reaction. And what our kiosks do is it gives people an easy access into the job market. It takes about 2 to 3 minutes to apply for a job, and it brings the opportunities to where people are. And what we also do is we have handheld kiosks with our street teams and community teams, which go to where people are. So people don't even have to come into a job center, which for some people can be a barrier, because if it's going to cost you $2.50 on a bus every time you want to go, that's $5 a day, and that can add up quickly if you're on the poverty line. So bringing opportunities to where people are and increasing the odds of them being able to get those jobs, you can really make an impact in the community. Apploi has got more than 5,600 companies working with it across the country, and that ranges from Fortune 500 companies right through to small businesses, because the challenge is the same whether you're a company that can afford multiple recruiters or you're your own business owner and you're doing the hiring yourself. It's just it takes a lot of time to go through resume after resume, and you're missing out on people. So we have a lot of small businesses using us as well. Baltimore was one of the first cities that we focused on, and a big part of that was because of the partnership and the support that the mayor's office and the library system, Pratt Free Library, showed, and their understanding of the benefits that Apploi could bring. And so really across Maryland, we've got a lot of businesses who are using us and really seeing the benefits of Apploi. The biggest shift that we're seeing right now is that everything is really going mobile first. And you look especially at young people and millennials, people order a car on their phone, they find love on their phone, they order their food on their phone. Jobs is the one area where they haven't yet been able to really do it on the phone. And now that's what Apploi is leading. And I think increasingly you see that there's a decline in computer ownership. Everything is being done on the smartphone, and that's only going to increase. And in places like Africa, where we've started focusing with the United Nations, they're almost skipping out the desktop. They're going straight to mobile. And now we see with Apple and the Apple Watch is getting even smaller. So unless companies are mobile first and focused in that way, they're going to be out in touch with the next generation coming through. I think in a very different way with Apploi, you really see the impact of how you're helping people. Just to give you one story from a gentleman who's probably only about 15 miles from here, he'd been previously applying for a job as a janitor. And when I met him, I asked him, is this what you want to be doing? And he looked at me like I'm an idiot and said, of course I don't want to be a janitor. I said, well, why are you applying for a job as a janitor? So he gave me his story, which, to simplify it, he had dropped out of school, he got into trouble, he spent a bit of time in jail, and then for the last several years, he struggled to get into the job market because every day that you're out of work, it's harder to get in because people never even call you in for an interview. They just look at you having nothing on your resume. And so people just told him, you have to be realistic, apply for jobs as a janitor. And so I said to him, well, what would you want to be doing? And he said, well, he'd love to do something in electronics. And I said, well, why electronics? And he said, well, I've taken a workforce course in it. I'm really good at it. Any friend or anyone I know who has something broken, whether it's an alarm clock or phone, they bring it to me and I fix it. So he then uses our platform to take pictures of what he's done, to record how he thinks about it, and now to that local electronics shop, he's not someone with no electronics experience, he's with all the right experience. And that's really why, like, the White House, why the mayor's office here in Baltimore, the library system, and entities around the country have been so supportive of what we're doing at Apploi, is because we're not saying to businesses, expand access and give people opportunities for social good. Yes, you're doing social good, but do it because you're really getting the best people. And talent who otherwise you never would have considered, businesses are now hiring. And the benefit for them is they're seeing lower turnover because it turns out these are better quality people. So it's a really unique way where you can have a social impact, but it's in line with the private good, the private interest. I mean, the vision for Apploi is that Apploi will be what LinkedIn is for the top 20% of the job market, for the other 80% of the job market.